Hey guys, today I wanted to share with you one of my favorite small reverbs, and it actually compares with all the other reverbs that I have, including the likes of the Big Sky and even the Eventide Space. By the title you should know what it is, but it's the MXR M300. This thing's surprising. It looks pretty unassuming. It's pretty well made, just like other MXR pedals. They're pretty new to the game with reverb. I think it's their only reverb to date. And it just sounds really good, and I'm going to demo that for you. Alright, let's get started with how this reverb actually sounds. So there's not too many settings on it compared to a lot of my other reverbs, but what there is a lot of good sounding algorithms inside of it. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a feel for what the dry signal sounds like, and for that what I usually use is a square wave, since it's so harmonically rich, and I use a very short attack and a very long decay. So like that. And the first algorithm we're going to look at is the plate algorithm. And it's probably one of the better plates that I've heard. It sounds really nice. It's really rich. Let's go ahead and turn that on. You can hear those reverb tails. I have the decay set fairly high on the reverb. It sounds really nice. I don't have the mix all the way up, but it's very wet sounding. Listen to those reverb tails, they're very nice. You don't have too many settings on it. This knob here is the tone knob, and it also acts as when you press it down, it's the algorithm knob or selector. So I'm going to turn the tone all the way down so it darkens the reverb itself. It just sounds really great. Alright, so the next one that we have here is the spring reverb. And I'm not a big fan of spring reverbs. Most reverb units don't do a very good job of it. It sounds too metallic. Well, obviously the spring's going to sound metallic because it's a piece of metal that acts as the reverberation unit. But most of the time it just sounds very fake. This one doesn't sound too bad, but it's not my favorite. I think the major problem with this one is the reverb tails can get way too long, and that's just not how a spring reverb would work. You would need such a long piece of spring for it to do that. Alright, so here comes the algorithm that I really like, well, one of them at least, and that's called the Epic algorithm. It's a plate reverb, I believe, with a bunch of delays, multi-tap delays set on it, with a lot of diffusion on the tails. So let's listen to that. It almost blooms. It's really cool. It's really nice for ambient stuff. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take down the filter of the synth. Let's bring that up just a little more. Just sounds really nice. It's almost like a modulated delay, but there's actually no modulation going on with it. It just has a lot of good dampening or diffusion on the tails. The next one is the modulated delay, or reverb I should say, and it also sounds nice. Now with the tone knob, you can make them sound a lot brighter. Alright, and then the next algorithm is the room algorithm, which isn't that great on this, but it's usable. has quite a bit of early reflection there. Also, it is a lot of decay for just a small room reverb, but it's not bad. It's usable. Then the next one that I really like is the pad, which the pad is kind of MXR's equivalent to what shimmer is. This is also one of my favorites. And using the tone knob, you can change those octavers and things like that. Sounds really awesome. Turn up the tone a little more. So between the pad and the Epic algorithms, this thing is amazing. I'm almost going to put it in the same category of the reverb you can get out of the Big Sky. I mean, at least comparatively to the shimmer and the cloud algorithms on that, and it's just such a good value. So a few things to note about it. It is a stereo reverb. It doesn't really make mention of that easily in its marketing literature, but it has stereo in and out, and it has a switch that you have to unscrew the back to get to switch it to true stereo mode, but that means that it's true stereo in and then stereo out. If you keep it in its standard mono mode, it's mono in, which I'm doing here just to show you that what it would sound like with a synth with only a mono output. And then even when it's set to mono internally, it'll always output a stereo signal. It only has two jacks, so one in and one out. The jacks are actually your standard tip, ring, and sleeve jacks, and not just your tip and sleeve. So you need to get an adapter that adapts the tip, ring, and sleeve out to two tip and sleeve adapters, with being one's going to be your left and one's going to be your right. They're fairly easy to find. If you want stereo in, you're going to need a second one of those cables, and then you're going to have to switch it to stereo. But then you get stereo out. I mean, you have to listen to this thing in stereo. There's no other way to do it. As you can tell from all my other reverbs, I do not get mono reverbs. They just are not great. I mean, if you're going to plug them into a guitar cabinet or something like that with just one speaker, yeah, that's fine, but you're not going to get a lot of the stereo field that, well, you're not going to get any stereo field that a reverb is known to really give your signal. So I'm just going to end with this pad setting again, and it's just amazing.